Hello everyone, I'm hoping you're having a wonderful Tuesday. Today is my plant update, and as usual I will start with my roses, to my Christmas cactus, my aloe plant, and then finally to my orchids. I just checked my roses a few seconds ago and there's no updates on that. They're still in their little seed form, so I really don't have any updates on that. So we're going to move on to my Christmas cactuses. So here are my two of three. A third one over there. And as you can see, it's growing quite nicely. It's like getting some new ones on the end here, which is really cool. So what I'm doing seems to be working because it's growing on the ends. Like this guy, he's growing too. So what I'm going to do, like what I do every week, I just check. And the soil on one of them is still moist. I'm going to moist the other one. So what you're supposed to do is water it, then let it dry out because it is still a cactus. So you don't want to water it constantly because that doesn't help the cactus. So here's this other one. And as you can see, it's growing some new ones, which is really, really cool for me. I love it. So I'm just checking. Yeah, and that soil is dry as a bone. So I'm going to take my distilled water. This is still my distilled water that I bought from the grocery store. So I'm just going to pour a little bit in there. And then by next week, it might need more, it might need less. I don't know. So now we're moving on to my aloe plant. There's really no updates. I just keep watching this guy, making sure that the soil is moist, which it still is. I think I watered this one last week. So now we're going to move on to my orchids because it's fertilized week. So I'm just going to show you my new orchids. I'm going to go get a plate so I can just place them out and do the fertilize all at once. That was the one thing I forgot to do. So here's my first orchid. I'm really, really happy about this guy. So I'm going to try to show you. It's growing a new leaf. I don't know if you can see it. But inside the first leaf, it's growing a new leaf right there. Don't know if you guys can see that, but it is. I actually had to fill this water back up because it was, I think it was Friday. The water was complete, almost gone. It's like an inch left, and it wasn't touching the orchid anymore. So I'm like, I better fill you up some water because you are hungry. So I'm just going to dump water out and rinse the cup a bit. So there's my first orchid that I purchased. Here is my second orchid that I purchased. So I'm just going to take him out of this cup. And this guy has been growing. He's been growing a little bit at a time. But as we can see, he has lots of roots, which I'm really happy about. So he has some roots down here. I check on this guy at least once a day, if not more. And I'm not kidding on that. I do check a lot on my orchids. It's like at least twice a day. At least. Okay, now it's time for my big guy. And I said it because he has a lot of roots. But I do check this guy every day as I do my others, and I had to cut some roots off. Unfortunately, because they were dying, I don't know if it was the water level or what it was, but I've been checking it every day. I check the roots to make sure they're still good, and I feel some dead ones. So I'm going to cut them. So I'm going to be over by my garbage can, feeling and cutting the roots as I believe they need to be. Some of these are going to be difficult. I can see that. this one likes to stick to the other one. So I'm trying to get it without damaging the other root, which was pretty difficult. Okay, so all I'm doing is I'm just feeling the roots, and that one's dead. If they feel mushy, they gotta go. If they are nice and firm, it's a healthy root. So that's how you can tell the healthy from the dead roots. Mushy, gotta go. Firm, don't mess with it, basically. So I'm just feeling every single root from the tip to the end. And that's something you want to do so you know you have healthy roots. So I just been checking on this guy every single day. I'm going to do my other orchids. And I think that is all of my dead roots. But I'm just going to feel all the way around. Just be sure, and there's one there, like maybe an inch. Like that. And then feel all the way back as far as you can. Okay, and he's done. So this is what it looks like right now. There's no new leaves growing, but he does have some roots growing. So he has one right there that's growing. He has one over here that's coming out. I don't know if that's going to be a root or if it's going to be a stem. We don't know yet, so we just have to wait and see. So now I'm going to empty his dish, which is not a clear dish, as I would like it to be because he's so big. Alright. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I fertilize my 3 orchids, which I did some research because I was told I was using too much. So for my orchids, I just need to use 1/8. So there's my 1/8. I have my cup that I fill it with. So I'm just going to fill this cup up with my distilled water. This is my last distilled water. I have 2 more jugs down here, but these 2 jugs are rainwater. And I know some people will say it's against the law, but it's not against the law down here in Florida. Thank goodness. So there's 2 cups of water, and with Miracle-Gro, I'll read it for you. It is supposed to be for indoor plants. It is supposed to be a 1/2 tablespoon per gallon. And you're supposed to do this every 2 weeks. But since mine are nowhere near a gallon, I'm going to be using 1/8 of a teaspoon. So, in this bag, Miracle-Gro comes in a bag. You have a little tie to tie it off, which I kind of like. People use little pipe sticks you're supposed to put in, but I don't do that. So, here's my measuring spoon. I'm just going to take a little bit, and we're just going to pour it in. And then I'll just tie this guy back up and save him for a couple weeks from now. So what I'm planning to do after this video is done, I'm planning to go walk to my nearest park and see if there's a Pokestop there. I don't know yet. I'll find out in a few minutes. So this is what it looks like before I stir it. It's all the way at the bottom. So now I'm just going to stir it a bit to mix it all around. I know people have told me that my water level is too high, but for my Phalaenopsis orchids, they're growing in the water level they are, especially my first one. So I have a blue line on this one. That's how high it goes. And this week, I actually had to refill it twice because it was so low for my orchid. So we just fill up that one. I also have a blue line for this one. So I'm just going to fill that up to the blue line. And then I'll put the rest in here because he's a big guy. He needs lots of water. So here's my big guy, which is not so big at this point, but he's going to grow. I'm very positive about that. So I'm just going to stick him in as best I can. Sometimes he'll lean to the side, but that's just what he's going to do. I can't control it. And here's my next orchid. So I did have mold issues on this one, so I would clean off the mold, get rid of any dead roots or leaves. But ever since I did that, I've had no issues with them. There's no mold, so I'm really happy. So we're going to put him back in his cup, like that. And what I like to do with my smallest orchid that is growing a new leaf, which I'm really, really excited about. I cannot tell you how freaking happy I am. So what I like to do is I like to hold it by the leaves and just let it fall in by itself. That's what I like to do. I'm going to try to see if I can do this one hand. I just hold it by its two leaves and just let it go. That's basically what I do. And it's high enough, but not too high for this orchid. Which I'm sure by Thursday, Friday of this week, I'm going to need more water. Because this guy is hungry. Oh, he's very hungry. That is my hungriest orchid I have at this point. So I was going through my comments for Monday's video. If you saw that video, and I got 100 subscribers, and I had a poll at the end of that video of what you want to see me do on my channel. And I got a comment asking me to do a Q&A. So what I'm going to ask from you now is, if you want to see this Q&A video of mine, please leave all your questions in the comments section. I will write them down in my journal, and I will do the Q&A as soon as I have about 20 questions. I would like to have about 20 questions, hopefully by Thursday or Friday, so I can do that video for you guys. So I'm going to thank you for watching. I want to thank all my 30 plus subscribers this week. I haven't checked how many I have at this point, but I know I have 30 plus, and I love you guys so much. I'm so thankful that you watch my videos and you comment to my videos, and I hope you like, subscribe, share, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for tomorrow's tutorial.